Hello and welcome to the Power Your Advice podcast. The Power Your Advice podcast is designed to bring financial advisors new ideas, why those ideas should be considered, and how to implement them into your business. This podcast is brought to you by Advisorpedia, the best place for advisors to grow their minds and businesses. And now, please join your host, Doug Heikkinen.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. We are live here in Denton, Texas at the T3 conference, which is thriving this week. And we're with Kristian Borghesan, who is the Vice President of Marketing at FutureVault. Welcome, Kristian.
Thanks, Doug. Glad to be here first time at T3 and looking forward to our conversation.
What are your perceptions of the conference? It's been pretty lively.
Amazing. I actually just had this chat over dinner last night. As a first time attendee, of course, we weren't sure what to expect out of it other than what we were hearing from our industry peers. And the energy is dynamic. It's contagious. I don't know if I'm allowed to use that word ever since COVID, but the energy is contagious. And you know what? We'll be back again. That's for sure.
People seem to be happy to be out of Zoom and live.
Yes.
So there's a lot of high impact areas of wealth tech that are influencing firms and advisors that buy technology. Let's talk about some of those. One of them is enabling the client experience. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that's sort of what we would refer to even as like the first high impact area of wealth tech. I mean, enabling client experience has so much of an impact around all of the other areas of wealth management and the relationship that advisors have with their clients. And this one really ultimately boils down to personalization. It's all about how do you as an advisor or an advisory firm make it easy for your clients to do business with you. And not only that, not just on the first time, but also to do repeat business with you so that you continue to retain clients. You've got mind share, they've got your loyalty, and you're building trust all along the way. There's many different ways about how you can go about doing that. I mean, one of them, onboarding is a key one. We look around the room here at T3 and everyone's got a solution for onboarding, or they're trying to solve onboarding because it's a major sticking point, and it's that very first interaction, if not one of the first interactions that advisors have with their clients. So if you can make that very smooth and easy for your clients, you're ultimately going to do at least a better job at winning them in their business at the end of the day. And then there's other things that extend beyond just onboarding, but essentially it boils down to personalization, making your client feel like you care about them, making it easy for them to do business with you. And that just builds a lot of trust. And as we know, trust is it's the ultimate currency.
Onboarding is huge because it is your first experience. And if your first experience with your advisor is seamless, you're much more likely to give a referral to a friend. You're much more likely to give more share of wallet, all those kind of things. So that's really important. Another one is automating advisor workflow. That's a key one, and that's a major sticking point for mostly for front office and advisor teams as we're speaking of it in this context. And really, when you look at what advisors are faced with on a daily basis, and you look at you peel back the layers of some of the things that they're involved with, even as it relates to client onboarding, like we were talking about. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of little small manual mundane tasks that they have to do every single day. So wealth tech solution providers should look for ways to help advisors automate and alleviate those manual processes so that they're not stuck doing behind the scenes paperwork, just as an example, and that they can actually spend a lot more time with their clients where it matters, right? So help them automate the important things that need to get done, and they stack up so that they can spend more time with their clients actually providing advice, which is what they want to do. One of the things that people talk about that has maybe even become a buzzword is fully integrated experiences. So what is that, and what does it mean? And give me your take.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, and that is one that I personally love. I mean, we're here at FutureVault, we're very close to what that means, at least what we think that means, and the way we would sort of define it, and I'm not going to go and give you a proper definition, but how we look at it is it's not just about integrating technologies that enable, again, we talked about number 2, the automating the advisor workflow. So it's not just about integrating experiences and technology that help to automate advisor workflow. Now we're talking about how do we integrate the experiences in the systems all the way from the back office level. So you've got compliance teams and your operational teams, working within the same systems. They've got connected experiences that then translates all the way down to their front office and to their advisors. And they've got integrated experiences to and from back office to front office, and then all the way down to their clients and their investors and the households that they work with on a daily basis, and then all the way back up as well too. So even when we talk about data governance and data management and just making sure that all of the data is unified across systems, this is one of the ways to achieve that, is to make sure that we've got a fully integrated experience and that there is bi-directional integration. So we've got systems talking to and from one another, not just pushing data, for example, into one system.
With what's been going on the last couple of years, and I'm looking forward to not saying this soon, but enhanced security, compliance, all that stuff, people being at home on their computers, people attacking computers and all that stuff. So that's a big one.
That's a huge one. I mean, I think everyone has, had their fair share of wounds from what we've all experienced together. We're all in it together from, the ripple effect that COVID has had since 2020. But compliance teams in particular really had to overcome a lot of challenges. There was a lot of scrutiny through regulators and even end clients, just wanting to make sure that their data was safe. So if I'm working with a new advisor, clients have now this expectation that all of the systems and the tools that you're using are keeping, for example, if I'm a client, my information safe. And so there's a lot more power in the client's hands now, where we're actually seeing a lot of clients vet more diligently the advisors that they're working with, but it's also coming from the regulators at the top. I mean, we're seeing the SEC, just as an example, push, new policies through just to make sure that data security is buttoned up all across the organization. And COVID has really accelerated, the impact of that. I think in a very good way, making sure that everything is safe and secure as we work with advisors is super important, but it does pose a lot of challenges for organizations and firms and advisors. But the challenge in that also presents an opportunity for wealth tech providers where, if you're making sure that the tools that you're building within your platform or your solutions also have enhanced compliance capabilities, now that's a winning product, because that's what compliance teams and advisors are looking for.
On the car ride here, we were talking about how many of these emerging technologies that are here are going to be here next year. How many of these emerging technologies are hoping to get eaten by a bigger fish? But there's a lot of thinking going on here. So how do advisors think about leveraging these emerging technologies?
Yeah, and that's a big sticking point as well. I think that's sort of like the overarching layer or themes, if you will, or even pillars, let's call them that. I mean, when you look at the way firms and advisors are buying technology, we've got, what are they looking for? They're looking for, can this solution or this product provide our firm and even me as an individual advisor efficiency at scale? Can it provide me with automation and integration into existing solutions that I'm already currently using, right? That way I don't have to replace some of the technology that I'm using. Does it provide, like we just talked about, the security and the compliance angle? And importantly, does it provide my investors and my clients with added value? Are they feeling like, they get additional value, or am I feeling as an advisor that I can now provide additional value by adopting a new technology and ultimately making my client the hero of the story?
So let's talk about FutureVault. What was the big idea?
Yeah, the genesis of FutureVault is a very interesting one. So FutureVault was founded by Scott Patterson. He's a very well-known, I call him a finance, technology, and media enthusiast. He's an investor as well in Canada. Scott started his career in investment banking. So he's got a background in finance. Then he went on to technology. He opened an investment bank, did really well there. He was actually one of the first investors in Lionsgate Entertainment. He was the vice chair of the Toronto Stock Exchange. So he's got his pedigree in financial services and technology and media. But Scott has his own family office. And he was having an issue just managing his documents at scale. He's got about 7,000, maybe 8,000 now documents in his FutureVault. But prior to FutureVault, he didn't really have a proper solution or wasn't able to find a proper solution to help him efficiently manage his documents, all 7,000 of them, including warrants.
7,000 documents.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I look at my documents and I'm like,
I got 2.
I'm not even close to 70 probably. But so it just shows you the complexity some of these individuals' lives, right? And these are some of the end clients that advisors are dealing with on a daily basis, especially the high net worth individuals. So really the genesis was a personal problem that Scott found that there was a huge hole in the market in how document management was being delivered to individuals. And he's got a lot of what we refer to in the product as entities. So you can think of that as different corporations and companies. And he's got a cottage. He's got, his different children set up as entities as well, too. So he can now efficiently manage at scale all of the documents and the contacts related to each of those entities. So if he wanted to search and find, for example, documents related to his cottage, again, just as an example, he can easily do that now. So a lot quicker, a lot more efficient, everything secure, everything happens within the vault, internal and external collaboration.
How do you talk to advisors about how it helps their business, both on adding value and how they can talk to it about their clients?
Yeah, this is, and obviously I've had a lot of practice being here at T3, right? We're in our final day. So really for the advisor, it's kind of all of those things, Doug, that we had just talked about. It's efficiency at scale. It's about helping them automate a lot of the manual document related processes. So even let's use onboarding, for example. We've got a really slick and smooth onboarding process where the moment a client signs a form, a new client agreement form, and this could be initiated through DocuSign or any other e-signature protocol, what takes place there is that a new vault is automatically provisioned to a client. So a new vault's activated for that client. And those onboarding documents, which is typically, depending on the number of accounts, they're opening anywhere between 8 to 15 or even more documents that they're signing, are automatically deposited now into their vault, into a specific folder. So me as a client, if I'm signing up or opening a new account, I've now got access to all of my onboarding documents instantaneously in a second, as soon as I sign those documents. And for an advisor, that means that they're also going to have those documents available to them too. And then that also means that back office and compliance will have access to those onboarding documents as well too. So from a compliance sake, they've got the view of all of the activity that's taking place. And that's just one example. So really for advisors, it's, hey, we help you manage all of your document exchanges that take place, whether that's between yourself and your back office or even with your clients, so to and from. And we help you do it securely and efficiently, and we can help you automate.
What's been some of the feedback you're getting from some advisors who use the system?
Really good. Yeah, really good. One of the common things we're seeing is that a number of our clients now have actually, we're saving them 30% time and money in their back office operations.
That's great. So how did you get here? What's your path?
My path is, I've been working in fintech for about 5 or 6 years now. Prior to joining FutureVault, I worked for 2 different companies that actually very similar. One was a Canadian company, one was an American company doing the same thing, online financial planning, essentially. Mm-hmm. So helping consumers, your everyday consumer, get access to holistic financial planning at a very affordable rate. And so I fell in love with the fintech game. I knew the founders at FutureVault, and there was an opportunity that had presented itself to me to join the team. I loved what FutureVault was doing. I saw the vision for what they were going after and the problems that they were solving for back office, front office, and then clients as well, managing their personal documents. And I said, absolutely, let's do this and let's have fun with it.
Well, it's a great company. You've been given a wonderful opportunity, so go hit it out of the park.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. Please follow us for all the latest updates on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, all at Advisorpedia. For the Advisorpedia production team, our producer, Jakey Beard, this is Doug Heikkinen.